Let me ask you something. Have you ever stopped to think that the dirt in your backyard could have a direct line to your DNA? I know, it sounds a little out there, but today we are digging in, pun intended, to the incredible link between the soil under our feet, the food we eat, and the very blueprint that makes us who we are. You're about to find out just how deep this connection really goes.
All right, so let's just jump right in with a big question. When is the single most critical time in your entire life to eat healthy? You might think maybe when you're training for a marathon or, when you're trying to shake off a cold. But what if the real answer isn't even about you, but about the generation that comes next? You know how we all talk about having good genes or bad genes, like we're just stuck with the hand we were dealt by our families? Well, it turns out that's not the whole story, not even close. The truth is, your genes are not your destiny. You actually have way more of a say in the matter than you probably think. And the science behind this is absolutely fascinating. It's a field called epigenetics. Basically, it's the study of how your choices and your environment act like little light switches for your genes. They can literally flip them on or off, which means, we can actively play a role in how our own genes get expressed. It's a game changer.
So remember that question I asked a minute ago? The single most important time to eat healthy is, without a doubt, during pregnancy. And here's why. A developing baby is 100% reliant on the mother's nutritional bank account. If even one single nutrient is missing, it can kick off this devastating domino effect, impacting everything for the rest of their life. We're talking about a profound, lifelong impact.
So that sounds pretty intense, right? The question is, how does this actually work? How can nutrients offer such powerful protection? Well, think of it like this. They're the essential toolkit for your body's own dedicated DNA repair crew.
Let's use an analogy here. Picture your DNA as the master set of blueprints for building every single part of your body. And for those blueprints to actually work, to build a healthy body, they have to be perfect, right? No smudges, no typos, no errors.
And what's wild is that your body has this amazing quality control system built right in. First, you've got this cellular machinery that is constantly proofreading your DNA, just scanning for errors at an insane speed. And when they find a mistake, and trust me, they always find mistakes, bam, they call in the repair crews. We know of at least 5 of these specialized enzyme crews that are on call 24/7 to fix any glitches in the code.
But here's the catch. This incredible repair crew, they can't just show up to the job site with an empty toolbox. They need their tools. And those tools are these essential micronutrients, things like folate, zinc, iodine, selenium. Without these building blocks, the crew just stands there. They're basically useless.
And this is where it gets really, really serious. Get this. Research has shown that not having enough of these key nutrients can do the same kind of damage to your DNA as radiation. Yeah, you heard that right. Let that sink in for a second. Simply missing a nutrient can have the same biological fallout as a toxic exposure.
Okay, so this all leads to a massive question. We know we need these micronutrients to protect our DNA, but where do they actually come from? To get that answer, we have to follow the trail all the way back to the true source. It seems like such a simple question, doesn't it? But the answer is where we uncover a fundamental, massive problem in our modern food system. Because these things don't just magically appear in our broccoli and our beef. And here it is. This is the heart of the issue. Modern farming is all about speed and size, so it force-feeds the soil a super simple diet of just 3 minerals: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, NPK. But real, living, healthy soil is supposed to have over 90 different minerals and trace elements. So what we're doing is starving the soil, stripping it of everything our DNA repair crews are crying out for. Think about it like this. Ever had a tomato, maybe from a farmer's market or somewhere in Italy, and it just explodes with flavor? That incredible taste isn't coming from some special magical seed. It's coming from the soil. That flavor, that's what minerals taste like. And where you find that kind of flavor, you find nutrition.
So you see what's happening? When we grow our food on this depleted, NPK-fed soil, we're creating a nutrient crisis. We're producing food that looks the part, but it's like a hollowed-out version of what it's supposed to be. It's missing the most important stuff.
And this is hitting our kids the hardest. Check out this number, 67%. That's how much of the average child's calories come from ultra-processed foods. We're talking about food products that are completely and utterly disconnected from real, healthy, mineral-rich soil.
This crisis even works its way into infant formulas. Many of them are soy-based, and the problem with soy is that it contains compounds that can act as what are called endocrine disruptors. Basically, they're chemical impersonators that mimic hormones like estrogen. And for a tiny, developing baby, that's a really big deal.
So what this all comes down to is that we need to totally rethink what healthy eating even means. It doesn't start with the food on your plate. It starts in the soil.
So what can you actually do with all this information? Well, here are the big takeaways. First, focus on whole foods, but, and this is a big but, be aware that even they might be lacking the minerals they used to have. Second, this just hammers home that nutrition during pregnancy and breastfeeding is completely non-negotiable. And finally, when you can, get your nutrients from real food. Your body knows what to do with that way better than it knows what to do with a synthetic pill.
And that leaves us with one final, pretty heavy question to think about. If the very foundation of our health, our genetic integrity, actually begins in the soil, what does the current state of our food system say about the health of our future?